Hello all, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about Keynes liquidity preference theory. In the first part of the fourth module, we studied the theories related to wages. In the second part, we are learning the theories related to interest. And the most important theory while you talk about interest is Keynes liquidity preference theory. I hope you have studied the wages theory and marginal productivity theory which we studied in the first part. So let's get started and learn the second part of the theory, that is about interest theory, named Keynes liquidity preference theory. The theory of liquidity preference is given by John Maynard Keynes. In short, we can call him as J.M. Keynes. This theory will tell how the common people or how the business people demand for money, or why they demand for money. There is two questions. One is how and the other one is why. Here in the liquidity preference theory, the most importantly you will learn about why people demand for money. It might be the common man, it might be the government, it might be the business. Anyone in the world will demand for money. Our answer for demand for money will be answering from the Keynes liquidity preference theory. What is this? Why do people demand for money? Why do people borrow money? It is because money is the most liquid form. For example, we might have assets in terms of gold, in terms of property, in terms of shares, in terms of stock. But however, people want liquid form of money. Now our basic question is, what is the liquid form of money? The liquid form of money is nothing but cash, isn't it? That is the one most liquid form because everybody will accept cash. So in this liquidity preference theory, we are going to learn why people keep money in the liquid form, or what is making them to keep money in the liquid form. That is the one we are going to learn in this theory. And now he also says that money is the most liquid asset, and more quickly an asset can be converted into cash. So in terms of cash, in the other form, in the other name, we call that as money. So these two are the one which is more liquid in the nature and will be acceptable by anyone at any point of time. So let's learn why people demand. Yeah. Now, John Maynard Keynes created the liquidity preference theory to explain the role of interest rate. As I said, this theory contains the major part while you study the interest rate theories. This is the first basic and important theory which you're going to learn. So, the liquidity preference theory explains the role of interest rate by the supply and demand for money. Here we can note that the interest rate is being determined by supply and demand for money, and John Maynard Keynes have taken these two components to explain the interest rate here. Next, according to the Keynes, the demand for money is split up into three types. The demand for money is split up into three types. I'll explain you, but before that, if I say interest rate, you must know what is that, isn't it? I have mentioned here, interest is regarded as the payment of the use of service of capital. So if you are using the capital is giving you service, and you are paying the capital in terms of interest. So if somebody have given you the capital, you give them the interest. Capital can be renamed even as investment. Capital can be even renamed as the money what you borrow for business purpose or commercial purpose. So this capital, whatever you have, you will return them in the form of interest. So that is the one here John Maynard Keynes is supposed to explain us. Yeah. Now we are going to learn about the three important motive what Keynes have told for common, for business, for government, any one of those who is going to demand money. He says money is being demanded only for the three motive. First one is transactionary motive. In short form, you can call that as for transaction. Next one, speculative motive. Speculation, it comes in stock markets. Yeah, you speculate markets. That is called speculative motive. The third one is precautionary. In short term, you can call it as precaution. So for anything we take precaution, isn't it? So these are the three motives what Keynes have told us. Now let's understand what each motive is telling us. The first one is transactionary motive. I said already it might be in the terms of transaction. People prefer to be liquid for day-to-day expenses. So if you want, you can also have the cash, you can also have the property, you can have everything. But for the day-to-day expenses, you are supposed to have it in the form of liquid or have it in the form of cash, isn't it? The amount of liquidity desired depends on the level of income. The higher the income, the demand for money will be more, isn't it? So the level of income, if the level of income is higher, then what happens? You will demand more money. Then comes the more money is required for increased spending. If you have or if you demand for more money, that means you are spending more. We are talking only about day-to-day expenses in the term of transactionary motive. Next comes precautionary motive. What is precautionary motive? It is a kind of demand for liquidity to cover unforeseen expenditure such as accidents or health emergency. Anytime anything can happen. So what people does is, whenever they have income or they have capital, they keep some amount of capital into or as precautionary in their pockets. So that's called precautionary motive. So this happens whenever you have accidents and health emergencies, you demand for unforeseen expenditures. And the demand for this type of money increases as the level of income increases. You will have, for example, if you are having a higher income, you demand more to keep as a precaution more. Yeah. The next one is called as speculative motive. Speculative demand is the demand to take advantage of future changes in the interest rate or bond prices. So what happens if you speculate and see that the market will become good or market will turn positive? So what you do is you buy everything today so that the interest rate or the bond prices will go high today. In terms you are speculating the future. So terms of thinking about future, you demand for the money today. That's called speculative demand. According to Keynes, the higher the rate of interest, the lower the speculative demand for money and vice versa. So you have three kinds of motive. The first one is transactionary motive for day-to-day expenses, precautionary motive to cover unforeseen expenditures, speculative motive to take advantage of future changes. These are the three keywords you are supposed to write when you're explaining these three motives. Yeah, have you understood? I hope you've understood these three concepts, because these three concepts are the main component of the interest rate theory given by Keynes. You must mention these three motives. What have you learned from this theory? Liquidity preference theory refers to money demand as measured through liquidity. He says that everybody will prefer money in the liquid form to attain three motives, that is transactionary, speculative and precautionary motive. J.M. Keynes mentioned the concept this in his book of The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money in 1936. While he was discussing the connection between the interest rates into supply and demand. In the real world terms, the more quickly an asset can be converted into currency, the more liquid it becomes. So if you have, or if you demand money, or if you borrow money, or if you borrow capital, you would borrow capital for attaining these three motives. And also find, what do you buy? You buy or you have only the liquid. currency to take care of these three motives. What is the criticisms? There are some criticisms on which the interest rate theory given by Keynes has been criticized in so many ways. Let's understand what it is. It has pointed out that the rate of interest is not purely a monetary phenomenon. Rate of interest cannot change only because there is some problem. Rate of interest change due to many other factors also. For example, natural calamities might happen. Bank can also change the rate of interest. If the government change, rate of interest do change, isn't it? So the rate of interest is not only changed only through the monetary phenomenon. Next, liquidity preference is not the only factor governing the rate of interest. No, rate of interest, for the rate of change in interest, you have not only the liquidity preference from the people, the other factors too. Next, the liquidity preference theory does not explain the existence of different rates of interest prevailing in the market at the same time. It is not that for everything you buy, not that every time you buy, not that every market you buy, the interest rate is the same. No, the interest rates are different. For example, if you're buying a small amount, the interest rates are different. If you're buying a larger amount, the interest rate is different. But this theory did not tell you that what would be the rate of interest or ideal rate of interest for the capital borrowed. Next, he ignores saving or waiting as a means of source of investable fund. Say people, while they buy or borrow or earn income, they don't only spend, they also save. But saving is a question mark here because saving is not being explained in this theory. Next, the Keynesian theory only explains the interest in the short run. It does not have or give any clue about the long run, because in the long run the interest rate will be changed and the motives of the people might also change. But this theory only helps us to know that why people have the liquidity preference ideas only in the short run. It does not explain how people behave in the long run. So these are the criticisms. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have understood the 5 criticisms on which the liquidity preference theory is not being accepted. So what would you write if the given conclusion? In the conclusion, you would write that despite these criticisms, Keynes' liquidity preference theory tells a lot on income, because it says that higher the income, higher the liquidity, higher the income, higher the spending. So many terms on income is being explained by John Maynard Keynes. He says about output, he says about employment of a country. So all these terms which was not included in any interest theories has been included here. And his basic purpose was to demonstrate that a capital economy or a capitalist economy can never reach full employment due to the existence of liquidity trap, because everybody is, everybody is spending, because everybody is spending, they are not saving to the future. When they are not saving to the future, an economy will not attain full employment equilibrium. It is because everybody will be in the liquidity trap. Everybody would have 3 kind of motives from where they would spend all the money rather than saving. If the saving hits a company or a country, then the country will never attain the full employment equilibrium. I hope you've understood the theory of liquidity preference given by John Maynard Keynes. Thank you for your listening. We shall meet in the next video. Thank you.